Like Debbie said, I am a lead teacher in the Explorers program. Our goal with the Explorers is to be outside around 60 to 70%. Some days we reach it, some days we do not. It depends on the weather, it depends on how the kids are doing. It also depends on our co-curriculars that we have in terms of, we go to art, we go to PE, we have wellness, we have library, and those types of specials. So it kind of depends on the schedule. So I made a little presentation for everyone to kind of share what we're doing here at the lower school level with outdoor education. So I'm going to try and share my screen. Hopefully this will work. Can everyone see that? Debbie and John, can you guys see it?
We can.
Great. Okay. So we're going to start off at the lower end and talk about the Explorers. So the Explorers are tend to be 3- and 4-year-old students. So and that's where I'm teaching. So we tried to be outside every day. So in a minute, I'm going to talk about Forest Fridays. And Forest Fridays are for a little bit older kids where they go outside and spend most of the day outside. But we always say in the Explorers that we have Forest Friday every day. Because we are outside every single day as much as we possibly can. We encourage the students to be using all of their senses. We encourage them to be taking controlled risks in terms of physical as well as emotional, but especially when we're outdoors, it tends to be physical risks. So it might be climbing a tree. So when I say controlled risk taking, I'm encouraging them to try and climb that tree, but I'm also giving them guidelines to help them to be safe. So my big thing is, okay, the branch you're about to grab, is that as thick or thicker than your wrist? Because if it's not as thick, it probably can't hold you and be safe. And we also ask, is the tree still alive? The tree needs to be alive to be able to climb it. And as well as you need to be the one and only person climbing the tree. So we take turns climbing the tree. And I will say a child, this is with any toy and any tree that we play with, a child has the right to use that toy or climb that tree as long as they want to. And then when they're done, they know to go tell the person that asks, that wants to use it next, that it's their turn next. So, and then most of our time is unstructured play time because we feel that that is developmentally appropriate. We will infuse academics if it comes up naturally, but we do not sit there and teach them the ABCs. We know they're going to get that in pre-K. Our goal for the Explorers is that we want them to be children, and we want this to be age appropriate for them. So while we are creating these unstructured play times for the kids, we are still helping them to develop social, emotionally, cognitively, in terms of their language, communicating with us, communicating with their peers, as well as their physical development. And I will say physical development, I love seeing the growth of the physical development throughout the course of the year. Gross motor and fine motor, just in terms of, all the opportunities they have outside to develop those skills. I will say with the Explorers, we are very heavy on the social emotional piece. So moving on here, see if I can move on. The next slide I have here is a video of an Explorer. The video person, person taking the video is an Explorers teacher. And then you're gonna see these Explorers kind of head out across the log here in a minute. As you're watching this video, pay attention to how the teacher is speaking to the kids. We try to encourage different skills, like, again, controlled risk taking, just different social emotional skills. So listen to that, and then we'll talk about it when it's done. So hopefully everyone can hear this in a minute. Can you hear it?
Comes my scooters. You feel safe up there?
Yeah.
You like being up?
What is that yellow?
This is a rock.
No, what is that flash?
It's the sun, honey. It's the sun. Keep going, Jack. You're going to make it across. Here comes Hudson. Good work, Hudson. Wow. Yep. Sonica's going across. It gets a little tricky there, Jack.
Look at my hand.
You got it. Some of your friends have been going over that root, over at the bottom of the tree there. Gabby, can you show Jack how you got there?
I climbed over that weird. Look at this.
Thanks, Lydia. Yeah.
Here you go, Miss Rowe.
Way to go, Huds. You made it.
I made it.
Jack, Gabby, can you show Jack the path over to the creek now?
Sure. Miss Rowe, here you go. Jack, follow me.
Good work, Sonica. You're making it.
This is for you.
Thank you. Wow, Lydia, you're up pretty high, girl. You're so brave. Keep going. Ooh, do you know what that is? Use your dog nose. Smell the flowers. Honeysuckle. That's a honeysuckle. Yep.
All right, there's a lot to unpack in that video. I'm going to mention a couple things I should have said. This video was taken before COVID. So anytime I'm going to share some pictures, if you see pictures of kids without masks, that was pre-COVID. Any pictures of kids with masks was this year. So this was actually our first year with the Explorers, which was 2 years ago now. And hopefully you noticed Mrs. Rowe, the teacher, saying things like, do you feel safe? So we try to check in and try to create that awareness for them. So that our goal is that they're asking themselves, do I feel safe in this situation? If not, I'm going to change what I'm doing. She is encouraging them by saying, you're brave. She's also encouraging others to help their friends and not just rely on the teacher to be this person that's going to help them. Like ask Gabby to show you how to get across the log. Ask her to show you how to get down to the creek. And I love it how Gabby's like, sure, follow me. Also we encourage just curiosity, using, like I said, all of the senses. Dog nose is one of our senses that we really focus on. So it's their sense of smell. We teach deer ears, raccoon touch, and owl eyes as well. So I love that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I do, because it really captures what we do in the Explorers program on a daily basis. Moving up from us, pre-K through pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade all have something called Forest Fridays, where they go outside for as long as possible during the day on Fridays, every Friday. And pre-K and kindergarten, the goals tend to be more free play, social interaction, grit mindset, resilience with the kids, which is similar to us, but they will also infuse some more curricular pieces, especially like shapes and letters tend to get in there. The first grade goals, they do allow for free play outdoors, but they do have a lot more focused kind of lessons in terms of the curriculum. So I know first grade they sometimes do shapes, they'll do numbers. They also have done a big project on human impacts on animals, where they studied what animals live here, and then like how do we affect as humans, how do we affect the animals that live here? And then going up from there, second, third, and fourth all have outdoor weeks. So that happens like several times. Most of the grades have them fall, winter, and spring at the minimum. And then beyond that, the second grade will go out and do hikes. They have team building. We actually have kind of low ropes course elements throughout our outdoor space on campus. The third grade does different curricular lessons. One is math. Actually, just recently I talked to a fourth grade teacher about a math lesson that she did and actually this picture, they had the kids, this is actually a team building element right here, but they had the kids, they were studying math. And so it's almost like a balance, like a human balance. So they were studying mass of people. And then fourth grade does a Native Ohio's Animals Project, where they go outside and study the animals, and they create brochures, and then they give the brochures to a local wildlife rehabilitation center. And then fifth grade does read alouds, hikes, mass breaks. A lot, I will say too, with COVID, there's even more outdoor time. these days. So recess can sometimes be outside in the woods, and like these mass breaks and just these brain breaks that happen are often outside in the woods these days. And I just wanted to leave you with a quote: "The best education does not happen at a desk, but rather engaged in everyday living, hands-on, exploring, and active relationships with life."